Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101, about 10 minutes away from Clash with Kenzie. We have Fantagram tickets coming for you.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, sorry to say. I know. Not the usual upbeat fun music, no matter what we're talking about in sports. It's another one after living through the worst baseball season in history. Cases White Sox going through that. The Cubs failure to make the playoffs. The Bulls with Lonzo Ball's return and then his descent off the starting lineup, injured again. And the Blackhawks kind of being what the Blackhawks are. Here we are with coming off of easily one of the most disappointing losses in Chicago Bears history with the Hail Mary last week. A chance to redeem it and try to put it behind them. A week of focus after coming back from London, the game me and Kenzie saw that was just incredible against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a fun time. What a great game. Could have came in rolling. They didn't. They were unfocused, and the Hail Mary happened. Tyreek Stevenson, by the way, found out yesterday that he was not going to start. In Thursday's practice, he was given this information. He apparently walked out of practice, and now they made a big deal about it. Jay Glazer did nationally, but our local reporters talked about it. Really, he walked away, and then he came back and talked to other players. It didn't seem like the big a deal that they made it right before the kickoff was yesterday. However, that game was one of the most pathetic Bears games I've ever seen in my life.
No bueno.
They were not ready to play.
No.
They didn't want to play. It seemed like they wanted to go home, even though they're in Phoenix. Very nice and warm this time of year.
I know, it was so lovely. We did not just enjoy it.
But I really... Last week, I talked to a psychiatrist on the air, and she told me to move on from sports and do something with your family on the weekend. I chose to get... That's exactly right. So I wanted to give it a chance. I said, you know what? The Cardinals are doing really well, but their defense, statistically, very poor. This is the time for Caleb Williams to shine, get some points on the board. Maybe they'll win, maybe they'll lose, but they'll score, 25 points, I was hoping. I thought they'd score 25 points.
Right.
They did not score 25 points.
They did not.
They did not. They scored 9 points. But this was the most pivotal part of the game that really, this might be the nail in the coffin of the season. Before I have some positive news coming up in a second, but this was the play right before halftime when they let the Cardinals, with 12 seconds left, get a touchdown when it was 14-9 and still a game.
Hey, when you're in the pocket, you're there to throw. You only run when you have to. It's DeMercado breaking away! DeMercado goes the distance! Touchdown, Cardinals!
So that took it up, of course, to a 21-9 game.
And then at that point, I'm like, well, this is not going well.
It's not going well, and it wasn't. It could have even got better after half, and it didn't. That play, when you watch the defense on that play, I know we had some injuries, but when you watch the guys playing in that play, they almost looked like Tyreek Stevenson last week during the Hail Mary. They're just standing around, letting this guy run 50 yards in for a touchdown. It was horrific. And I think I need another psychiatrist appointment this week. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, God, I got to find another one?
Yeah, find another one. She was great last week, but if we can get a psychiatrist on this week to really talk this out.
The problem is you just need the Bears to start winning. You're looking for a psychiatrist to replace something that's not going to happen.
Well, here's something to end this on a positive note and not just keep rehashing and get mad about the Bears, because I've already done that. My voice you hear will be rough this morning. I can't stop yelling. Yesterday I was yelling at an iPad. God.
That's humiliating. TV is one thing, an iPad, though.
I'm yelling at an iPad.
You know what's bad when your 2-year-old daughter's like, get it together. Yeah. Whoa, a lot of emotion.
Yeah, Harper's sitting here, with watercolors painting like life is a joy. The first time she painted.
Oh, really? Watercolor, huh?
Yeah, watercolors.
That sounds messy.
As if you weren't already having a bad day. You were watercolor pants.
It's not good. One pair of pants are gone.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't know where we go from here, but here's what I'm saying. If the Bears, who have the Patriots, who lost, and they're 2-7, the Patriots are terrible, they're coming to Soldier Field next week. The Bears are 4-4. They win that game. And then next week, are you kidding me? The week after that, I should say, November 17th, the Packers come to the Bears. Bears haven't beat the Packers in 6 years. I think it's exactly.
I think this is the year.
Is it 6 years?
6 years. I mean, that's a lifetime ago, Brian.
Think about that.
What were you doing 6 years ago?
6 years ago.
You were with Megan.
I was with Megan. I wasn't even back to Chicago from my exile.
You were still exiled at that point.
I was still exiled from Chicago at that point. I haven't even moved back here yet.
You haven't seen a Bears victory over the Packers since you moved back here, and you've been back here a long time now.
December 1st, it's 6 years. I get back to Q101. Think about that. That's horrific what you just said. That put it in perspective. What were you doing 6 years ago, Kenzie?
6 years ago, I was in Florida being feral. So, good Lord. Very different life. Because I moved here. Oh, my God.
Think about that.
5.5. So just before I moved here, because I've been here. You and I moved here. You moved in December, and then I moved in February.
Yeah.
Almost at the same time.
Like I had my sludge days back here in Chicago. I got exiled, and I just got back here. I hadn't gotten back yet. They still were trying to decide on me 6 years ago whether it was time to come back.
I was twerking on a cop car last time they won. Unbelievable.
That sounds good what you were doing.
Yeah, I know.
Case, what were you doing 6 years ago?
I was a sophomore in college and not being feral. I was not having a brat summer at any point. Like you talked about with the word of the year. And no part of me was being feral. I was watching the Bears lose on Sundays just in college.
Weren't you learning how to sword fight at college? Like on the state, like on theater?
I wasn't learning how to sword fight. They offered a sword fighting class.
At Columbia College?
Yeah.
I went to the wrong college.
Yes, you did.
So fun.
Brian and Kenzie.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Before we get you on the phones for Clash with Kenzie, if you want to hear something disturbing, I mentioned how if the Bears can beat the Packers in 2 weeks and haven't done it in 6 years, and the Packers are beatable, by the way, as they got trounced by Detroit last night.
Trounced.
Trounced.
That's fun.
Well, the score doesn't look like it, but it was 24-14, but it was a bigger, watching that game was terrible. So, if they beat them, first time in 6 years beating the Bears, that would save the season. Also, an astounding stat that Matt Eberflus and then coaches before that haven't won on the road on a Sunday in 3 years.
That's not good.
Haven't won on the road on a Sunday in 3 years. You know, most of the NFL is played on Sundays.
And a lot of games are played on the road.
Yeah, if it was like haven't won Monday Night Football, okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. A couple years there, no,
Or haven't won in California or something like that. You know?
Right? No.
But anywhere on a Sunday, most games played on a Sunday and half of them on the road. Wow.
Not good.
Not good. And another person from Gurney pointed that out to me. They're texting in the day, and I wanted to get that stat on the day. I forgot. I'm just like at a blank state that I forgot that stat yesterday.
Well, there's a lot to unpack from yesterday.
Yeah,
there's
is.
a few different avenues you could go down.
Yeah.
And they all suck.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Not a good option. Well, let's get to something that doesn't suck. That would be Clash with Kenzie. That competition is real, and you can certainly make a name for yourself and win Fantagram tickets for the Aragon Show coming up Friday, February 14th. From our great friends at Live Nation and Brian and Kenzie. So call right now, 312-591-8300, to compete against Kenzie in trivia on a Monday morning. 312-591-8300. Call now.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
And here we go. First one of the week. Fantagram tickets on the line for the Aragon. That is Friday, February 14th. That's Valentine's Day on a Friday, right?
Hey-o.
That'd be a nice little date taken care of. You don't have to stress about Valentine's Day. Honey, I'm taking you to Fantagram.
Little Green Mill stop beforehand, because that's across the street from the Aragon.
I love the Green Mill.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Good pasta.
Friday.
Good pasta.
Yes, it is.
And so competing for these Fantagram tickets from our great friends at Live Nation, of course, is Nate checking in from Aurora. Nate, ahoy, tell us something about yourself.
Ahoy, how's it going? I just got to see 4 Year Strong last night at the Concord. It was a great show.
Oh, nice.
Good band.
Nice.
Fun.
Are you a little tired today from the concert?
Little sore, yeah.
Well, sore. Oh, my.
Throwing bows over there in the pit?
Yeah, a lot of jumping, a lot of dancing.
Yeah.
Jumping. I love jumping.
Yeah, jumping's nice. That's my dance move. I have no other moves.
You
I
jump?
I jump, yeah.
That'd be so annoying. You're so big. I'd be so pissed if I was sitting next to you and you were jumping.
Yeah, I knock over people.
Oh, God.
All right, Nate, here we go. First one to 5 wins. Listen carefully. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same with you. Call heads or tails, Nate, who's sore.
Heads.
It's tails. Kenzie, question number 1. What is the name of the water company that is part of the Coca-Cola family?
I could be wrong. I want to say Dasani.
Dasani's right.
Yeah.
You are right. There's always Dasani on the shelves.
I like it.
Do you?
That's my go-to water.
You know,
not for me.
It's a tough choice with water, which is unusual.
Well, I think water sucks, and I think Dasani's the best of the bunch. I hate drinking water.
Not a good for your future. Not good there. Water pretty much keeps us alive.
Is it bad that I can look at you and tell that you hate drinking water?
Ouch.
I'm just saying, you give the vibe.
Well, let's stay on a drinking arc here. So it's back to Nate.
Yes.
Nate, what soda company is known for their Christmas time cranberry flavoring?
That would be Sprite.
Sprite is right.
That's more my speed.
Oh.
There you go. Looks like water.
On the shelves now, by the way.
It is?
Oh, yeah. Cranberry Sprite. It's the season.
They put them on at 12:01 Thursday night.
As
Halloween's
they
over.
should. It's Christmas right now.
1-1 back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, what was the scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz lacking?
The scarecrow was lacking. Let's see, coward, brain, heart. Oh, he was lacking a brain. I know
That's
through
right.
everybody.
I like how you went through that.
My brain-
Talked it out.
Yeah.
Brain is right. Nate, what is the name of Homer Simpson's neighbor?
Ned Flanders.
Ned Flanders. Kenzie, who was Sherlock Holmes' assistant?
Oh. I know a lot of. I feel like I knew more about Sherlock Holmes. His assistant.
Yeah, an assistant. The name was kind of iconic.
Damn. You know what's unfortunate is I saw the Will Ferrell version of this and I can't remember still.
I think you were the only one that saw that.
It's not good, but I had to see it. I have to see everything with him in it.
What was that movie called?
Sure. Well,
Sherlock
no,
Holmes?
you can't say the name because I think the.
I think it's like Holmes and Winston or something ridiculous. I don't remember. What is it? Oh, wait, let him
I
guess.
can't let him guess first. So it's not Winston. What is it, Nate?
Elementary, my dear Watson.
Oh,
Elementary, my dear.
I was close.
Yeah, Dr. Watson.
I thought it was Winston.
That movie was Holmes and Watson, by the way. 2018 comedy. And
10% of Rotten Tomatoes. Just looked it up.
I love Wikipedia. The budget was $42 million. It made $41.9 million.
I was that close.
Missed it by that much. Let's see. Is it back to Nate?
It is 3-2. Nate's ahead, and it's back to him.
Nate, do you have the time to listen to me whine are the opening lyrics of what Green Day song?
That's Basket Case.
That's Basket Case. Nate's got 4. Kenzie, what is the name of food created by Texans of Mexican heritage?
Jeez. Tex-Mex?
Tex-Mex. That's delicious.
Kind of Chili's vibe, man. It's the whole thing.
Let's see here. That's good, but Nate has 4. Next one wins. Nate, which U.S. state is nicknamed the Buckeye State?
That's Ohio.
That's Ohio, and Nate takes the victory. You've got your Valentine's Day planned. Fantagram tickets at the Aragon, February 14th. As Case said, go to the Green Mill, and Kenzie said their pasta is to die for.
It is so good.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Okay, Nate. Do you have somebody to take the Valentine's Day? You got to ask somebody.
I'm going to have to ask someone. I'm going to have to figure that out.
Okay. Well, ladies, Nate's available and has
Hey-o,
Fantagram
if you
tickets.
wanna go.
Hit him up. All right, we'll have more of these tickets all week long. Right around this time, get on the phones around 7:10 for a chance to win Fantagram tickets for the Aragon and Clash with Kenzie. It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. This is that time of the year where you're invited over people's homes a lot, and they say, hey, bring something. Well, when you're asked, and Kenzie's a big cook, I know, and like you probably have a whole list of things in your head that if someone invites you over, well, I'm going to make this then and bring that. Pretty much, right?
The appropriate thing to do is always see what they need. Like, would you like an appetizer? Would you like a dessert? Would you like... And then I know which one of those things I'm going to bring.
Correct. That's a smart way to do it, so you don't double up and bring something that someone else is bringing. Then you
Yeah,
got...
because you actually want to help them. So you don't want to just... It's like, great, I had 7 desserts. Thanks so much, you know?
God, that sounds amazing to have a 7-dessert dinner.
It does.
Wow. So we're going to have an Am I the A-hole coming up here in just about 10 minutes that you're not going to believe what happened when a potluck deal happened and what she brought and why it caused basically people to get up, throw plates, and tear off the tablecloths. We'll talk about that. We'll read that exact post.
Dip.
Whoa. That's coming up. And speaking of food, the God Bless the Gravy food drive, ours, of course, here for the Greater Chicago Food Depository, is at 57,954 meals. We've
Holy
done this.
crap.
We launched it about 2 weeks ago. Our goal was 30,000 meals before Thanksgiving. Obviously, we've nearly doubled it thanks to you. You have saved so many lives. you don't even realize. And I went through last night all the donations, and I was so impressed with the businesses that have really stepped up. Listen, individuals, everybody donates $5 right now. We're golden. All you got to do is text GRAVY to 312-591-8300. A link comes back to you, and you can donate whatever you can. $5 helps. $5. What is that, Kenzie? How many meals?
$5 would be 15 meals. This is the furthest your dollar can go, especially this time of year. And I don't know what kind of magic they're working with, but it is awesome. Because listen, like, it's hard to donate to things. Some things are really expensive. Like, there's things where you can like sponsor certain people and all that. And it's all amazing, but it's a lot of money. If you don't have a lot, but you want to give, this is the furthest your money can go, which is really cool. Knowing that if you literally gave $1, if you're like, I don't have a lot, but I want to help, it would be a whole day worth of meals for somebody.
Isn't that an amazing way to put it? Like, that's a whole day.
Yeah, for
breakfast,
$1.
lunch, dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anything you donate helps. And we want to crush this goal. We have some challenges coming up we'll get to this week that we'll talk about to help, get the total up here. I'd like to get to 100,000 by Thanksgiving. Now, 100,000 meals would just warm my heart so much, as you already have. And really look at the businesses, and there's about 30 to 40 businesses that have donated. And I have these all here. I'm not going to go through every one at the moment, but Andrew's Vending LLC drinks, snacks, and bulk candy machines were one of the last businesses to donate on Friday, I believe it was. We also had Teamsters Local 705, whoop, whoop. And Reisinger Repairs Plumbing and Electric, UAC Automotive, just a couple of them there. I know people have donated, massive amounts, and maybe we'll go through all at the end. But we say if you donate, you're a business, we will give you shout outs. And we want our listeners to go to these businesses when you have these needs, because that's what we are. We're family here, helping out by donation. You're helping your neighbor, because the Greater Chicago Food Depository distributes that food to 300 food banks. So even if you live out in Aurora or Naperville or Chicago Heights or up in Gurnee or wherever, you will benefit from these donations. So please, whatever you can do is appreciated. And let's just keep crushing this goal and set a record.
Yeah, it's really cool because I think this has been a little bit of, it's a year where you see people argue more because it's an election year and things like that. And things have also been really expensive. I'm like, I don't know, you go online and you see people very angry a lot. And I love when we do things like this because it reminds you that it's like, wow, it's like a restore of like faith in humanity. Because you can get really stuck online, but like online is not the real world. Things like this are. We're like truly connecting, with you, and you're donating, and we get to support your business or who you are. And it's such a cool thing because it's so easy to get lost in the fake online world. And I love it.
Well said.
Thank you.
Go to Q101.com, the button's at the top, God bless the gravy, or text GRAVY to 312-591-8300.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning, and Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.